This is certainly an honor for me to speak today to you all as a combat veteran, as there is a human cost to warfare. It is the responsibility of combat veterans to remind our fellow citizens that war is destructive, is traumatic, and is violent. But in seeing the worst in humanity in warfare, you also see the most inspirational. To witness courage, duty, commitment, camaraderie, and sacrifice in its full measure, it makes a heart full.
All right, folks, Ricky Mills here, and I'm here with Frank Adkinson, the president of Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures. We're in Eatonton, Georgia, and Frank invited me down so we can shoot a little video and talk a little bit about Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures in general, and then a few of the events that Frank is running. So right now, Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures is regional. I'm up in New York, John McComb's in New Jersey, Greg Trainer is in Pennsylvania, and Frank, you're down here in Georgia.
Pretty much all of the Southeast is kind of where I've been focusing my efforts. So absolutely, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, now looking into parts of South Carolina as well. So we're branching out, staying busy.
It is a feeble attempt to put into words how to define ultimate sacrifice on Memorial Day. This is the only day, the one day, we come together as a nation, as communities, and as individuals to pay tribute. We are here to honor our fallen citizens, and for some of us, our comrades in arms who perished in combat.
Frank is the president of Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures, and he's going to talk to us in general about Wild Jaeger, and then talk about some of the events that Frank's running down here in Georgia.
Here in Georgia, we've had near Macon, Georgia, a great hunting experience for about 7 to 8 veterans for each time we were able to offer that hunt, and great experience. A wonderful family opens up their doors and their hearts to us, really, for that event. And we also have a fishing tournament here on Lake Oconee. It's a beautiful lake. It's absolutely gorgeous. A great bass fishing destination. So it's a great place for a bass tournament. And that has been a great event. We look forward to having it growing even more this coming up next year.
So this will be year 2 of that bass tournament. We put out a flyer the first time. We put it out on all our social media, Instagram, Facebook. We also advertised it on LinkedIn. We had some sponsorship. Talk a little bit about the sponsorship and how we funded that initially, and then where it's coming back to.
I think what made it unique, and what makes us unique, is that we weren't just, and thankfully I had a lot of local support for that event as well, but we also had a global aspect to that as well, with Daniel Defense donating and supporting that event as well. So it kind of goes back to the heart of Wild Jaeger and the heart of Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures, connecting a lot of folks together, both locally and globally. And so it was an amazing fishing tournament, and we look forward to it happening again this September 23rd, and it's going to be even better.
I think one of the key parts of this are the partnerships and the sponsorships. So you'll notice I'm wearing the Edge Eyewear baseball cap and the Edge Eyewear sunglasses. So Edge Eyewear was one of the sponsors that provided us with 22 sets of sunglasses for our anglers for that Bass Pro, that bass tournament. And I mean, that was integral for veterans to come in, and then you get to see the veterans, you get to see the look on their face when you're handing them a backpack, you're handing them a set of glasses, you're putting them on a boat, and it might be sometimes the first time that some of these veterans have had anything to do, or any kind of activity that's veteran outside of like just getting out of the military and being on their own on the street as a civilian.
No, that's what made that tournament so great. Was we had gentlemen from the Vietnam War all the way down to the recent global war on terrorism from Iraq, and you know, it was like you couldn't make it any perfect. They were actually the winners of the tournament. They actually had the biggest bass for the tournament, and it was just great to see, you know, Mr. Van Dyne as the Vietnam veteran, and a gentleman named Tommy as the younger guy won it. And to see them together is really what we're about, connecting veterans together. And when you can do it multi-generationally, it's even that much more special. And yeah, we had great sponsors that came out, and they just do it because they want to support veterans, and that's great for veterans to see as well. Daniel Defense, Abaco sunglasses, Highland Tactical backpacks,
Edge Eyewear.
Edge Eyewear. We couldn't do it without them, because part of the raising the interest for these events is people want to go there and they want to have a great event. They want to be able to raffle for items, and it just creates a great atmosphere for overall tournament feel. We're truly appreciative to them. But I know that they're really doing it because they really want to support veterans. And it's just great to be part of that. It's great for veterans who may be disconnected from the military for a little while to see that it's certainly in the military and our, the camaraderie and the brotherhood of the military, we're going to support each other. But it's great for them when they have civilians and these other companies come and sponsor them. That's also critical in this as well.
Winston Churchill probably said it best in these simple words about those who served in World War II, but it's certainly still relevant today. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many, by so few.
So one of the key things we're at right now is we're 1 year old as a 501c3, man.
Yeah.
We did it. We got through our first year.
Yeah.
We survived. Other side of COVID, we're very lucky that we started our 501c3 post-COVID, toward the end. We didn't have to wear masks during the tournament. We haven't had to wear masks. Did you wear masks at any of the events that you ran last year?
No, we did not.
So, and Georgia as a state, now I have 6 years in Georgia, down in Savannah, Georgia, 1992 to 98 when I was in 1st Ranger Battalion. Georgia's a big state for you, but hospitality-wise, man, America strong down here in Georgia.
The Southeast has a long history of supporting the military, and obviously the entire United States does as well. But it is largely in our culture, and I can tell you, this family that supports, for example, the event that we do here near Macon. It's in Gray, Georgia. I wish everybody could just come and be a fly on the wall and observe 5 minutes that the soldiers and these sailors and airmen, when they come in and do these events with this family, that's not a military family, has nothing to do with the military. They are just so amazed to see that brotherhood and that camaraderie come out between those that are in the event, hunting and just dragging that deer out and eating dinner together, breakfast together. It's over that beer and it's over the campfire where his family's just observing this, and they're looking at it and they're like, you guys are a little bit different. The military, you guys and gals are a little bit different. And then vice versa. For a person who just did 3 or 4 years, let's say, in the military, and they get out and they have, to understand that the civilian population from which we come from, that we served for, to see them come back and reach back to that veteran, it becomes a very special moment. And that's, again, I use the word a lot, connecting, connection. That's what we do. And it's good for both the soldier and it's good for our civil-military relationship as well, for the Americans to see what the folks in the military do for this country.
So we've run that whitetail hunt 2 years now. You ran it 2 years ago when I don't even think we had our 501c3 locked in at that time.
Well, at the point we had just got it. Just got it, yeah. So we're almost on our 2-year mark. That's
and then
right.
You knocked that one out, and then we did one in 2022. So this is a November hunt. This is an annual hunt. What we're trying to do at Wild Jaeger, we're both retired Army officers. He's a retired lieutenant colonel, I'm a retired major. We're very familiar with creating a battle rhythm, creating an annual schedule, getting that system of financing, and having your schedule, being able to finance it, and then man it, and then get in there, look for your volunteers, look for those hunting opportunities, and then staff them, and make sure it's all about the vet. It's bringing those vets in, receiving them, making sure that they're 100% received, taken care of, integrated, and that it's a really low-key, light environment for them, and that they have the really true experience, and that we know, or they know, that we care about them.
No, it's I think what makes our nonprofit and what we do unique is it is a total experience. They come in, let's say for that hunt again in Georgia, and I'm just using this to illustrate the point. When they come in on Friday, we immediately, we meet and greet, we get to know each other. They get a little bag, a little gift bag, so they feel welcomed as soon as they get there. They meet the family, and then we immediately go to a range. And we confirm to make sure our weapons are good. And then that muscle memory kicks in. That thing that every soldier learns in the military automatically. Hey, range hot, range hot, range hot. You know, all that's back.
Marksmanship, breathe,
Marksmanship,
relax,
breathe,
aim,
and we're all
squeeze.
sitting there coaching each other again, just like we learned from day one in the military. And right then, right off the bat, they know they're back to that brotherhood. They're back to feeling the camaraderie. And then we have a good night together. And then we go out and we go hunting all day. We're helping each other. You know, we have these group texts, and it's just funny to see each other, you know, giving each other a hard time a little bit. You know, like, oh my goodness, you know.
Little competitiveness.
Little competitiveness, exactly. All of that. Come back, have a great brunch, have a good hangout during the day, maybe play some cornhole, you know, different things, maybe go fishing a little, finish the afternoon hunt, then come back for the dinner, have a great dinner. You know, after they've been together for a little while, they have, if you could hear the prayer for that evening, because we've all met each other, we've all kind of support each other at this point. It is a very touching and poignant point of the evening and to the entire weekend experience. And then we may drink a beer or two, maybe a bourbon or two, hang out, have a great time, hang out by the fire, just get to know each other and be back around those people that we chose to serve with for 3 or 30 years. Yeah. And I say it all the time, I don't care. If you served honorably for 3 or 30, that's good enough in my eyes. Mm-hmm. And it just becomes a special weekend, and then we wrap it up on Sunday with another morning hunt, great breakfast, and what's great is not just that, it's how we stay connected after those hunts. Right. It's great to see each other, text each other 3-6 months later, talking about how their life experiences are going, and that's what we're about, connecting veterans together. So I think that's what makes our events a little bit special. It's not just a hunt. Right. It's not just the fish. Right. It's the entire weekend event where you can allow that meaningful connection to occur.
So the other thing we're trying to do in that time frame, from the time we receive veterans until we get them back in the car and back to their house, is we're trying to feel these veterans out and see if there's anything that Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures can do to assist those veterans if they, one, have not received the service-connected disability rating that they're due. 2, if they need to increase or improve, talk to them about their veterans benefits, talk to them about CRSC, combat-related service compensation. Talk to them about Social Security disability if that's an option for them. Talk to them about their, the use of the VA. There's so many veterans out there that did 3 years. Folks, it doesn't matter whether you do 3 years or you do 30 years in the military. You have access to the VA. If you don't have health care, you don't have a hospital. If you're a veteran, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, Space Force, you can walk into any VA on the planet, American VA, and ask to see somebody because you have something that you're concerned with.
I think because we are veteran focused, that's what makes this unique, and because of that became our third line of effort, if you will. At first, when we started this, we were like, hey, let's take veterans, let's connect them together, let's get them outdoors somewhere. And that in itself is wonderful. That's an amazing thing. But then when we realized when we were having these discussions, we were talking about, well, wait a minute, you don't have the full compensation maybe that you can. There are things that your state provides that maybe you don't know about. There are other nonprofits that can help you out as well. There's the Valor Clinic.
Yeah.
There's these other entities that exist that can absolutely help you. And we become, again, that connector, that
Right.
connection to be able to do that. And I think that's what, again, it's not just get them out on the hunt. It's the full experience, but it's also, we're going to partner with you. We're going to help you. And if you need something that we can't do, we're going to connect you to that. We're going to guide you in that direction, and we're going to advise and help in any way that we can. And I think that's what also makes us unique, Ricky.
Yeah. They're going home with all of our business cards, all our contact information. We tell them, we look them in the face as brothers or sisters, and we say, hey, call me if you have a problem. If you're on the edge, or you're thinking the wrong things, or you're going down a bad road, call me. I'm here for you. And we create sometimes lifelong bonds with some of these veterans, and who become friends.
Absolutely.
Memorial Day is about honoring, remembering, and celebrating. We must remember that every life on the Vietnam Wall in D.C., in Arlington, and the National Cemetery on the Normandy coast, and to the local cemeteries around this nation, each life was that of a father, a brother, sister, cousin, uncle, aunt, neighbor, a friend, or lover.
So what more can we do with Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures, at least on the whitetail hunt side? We're talking about the whitetail hunt. We're doing bass tournaments. We've got golf tournaments coming up. Folks, we cannot do this by ourselves. We funded our Wild Jaeger, John McCollum and I, when we had Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures, when we were in infantile stages before we became a 501c3. We just funded it out of pocket. We are now a legitimate 501c3. We can accept donations. I think we're almost ready to start accepting seeking out corporate sponsorship.
I think we absolutely are. But I do want to say something to Ricky and John about, for over 10 years out of pocket. If anybody wants to question our commitment toward our veteran brothers and sisters, well, that should quell how committed we are to doing this. And I commend you, brother.
Right.
I really mean that. That is a special thing, to be that selfless, to spend. And the greatest gift anybody can give is not just their dollars, it's their time. And you did that for years. And so that's special, brother.
On top of that, transparency. As a 501c3, transparency-wise, nobody on the board of directors of Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures is getting paid. We actually, at this point, do not have an employee that we're paying. We will. We're trying to work toward that. Whether we hire a VSO, a veteran service officer, that can help us with the veterans that we come into contact with, we don't need that yet. Whether we hire an executive for you to cover down on the bookkeeping and the accounting. We've got John McCollum in New Jersey, the CFO for Wild Jaeger and Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures, and he's running all that stuff. But eventually there's going to be costs that are out there. But right now, transparency-wise, every single penny that's donated to Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures is going toward veteran support events.
Absolutely. And we're doing everything we can. Like he was saying, every red cent we come across goes straight back to our veterans. And, we were as high as 22 veterans a day committing suicide, and that's unacceptable.
We veterans are morally obligated to remind our communities and fellow Americans that there is a price for the things we have been endowed as a nation to keep. And what a gift our fallen heroes have provided us. Our Constitution is the longest running modern blueprint for democracy in the world. In fact, every other modern society has modeled their Constitution after ours. Their sacrifice has given this.
And we want to do everything we can for our nonprofit to reach out to as many veterans as possible. But we need your support. It's great for everybody, the veteran community, to see the civilian population involved with them. Every war society since the dawn of time has needed that, and it has and will never change. You are involved in it, and we need your help. And I think what you need to remember is that at the end of the day, everything that you do to support us is helping an individual. It is helping a person with the struggles they're having in life, be it relationships, stability in their life, a multitude of different issues. Or sometimes just reconnecting back to why they joined the military so they never forget. And we need your help on that, and you are integral in that. So please, if you got any questions or you want to help in donating, in certainly a way you can support us financially through donation of money, but land for us to hunt on, fishing charters,
run your own golf tournament,
golf tournaments, and so on.
Run your own event. You find the event, call us, tell us you want to run an event. We'll come in, we'll set up a booth, we'll sponsor it, we'll be there to talk to people. We'll set up a TV with Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures TV running in the background. We'll be there to answer questions, maybe even bring in a few vets that participated in our event to your social function, whether you be a Legion or an Elks Club or just a golf, any type of environment like that. But we definitely are moving forward, and we do need the help to get there. So if you're interested in donating to Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures, one of the things you can do is go to our website, www.wildjaeger.com, and then click on that Veterans page, and it'll take you there. There's a donate button on the bottom of that page. There's information for you on the page, our mission statement, what we're doing. There's a list of services that we're advising veterans and service members on, and then it gives a list of different videos you can click on and watch some of the previous Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures that we've done over the last 11 years. And then it goes right into a donate button where you can click on that, and I think it's pretty easy to follow that instruction and donate if that's something that you're looking at doing. But on top of that, like Frank said, we need land. We need, if you have a charter, if you have something that you'd like to donate, access to your land, access to your game, access to your tree stands. We have the veterans, and we have the time, and we'll make it happen.
Absolutely. So thank you for spending a few minutes with us, and please reach out to us. You'd be surprised at what you can provide to help us out. And we just, again, it's something crazy. Somebody offered, they own a few miles on a creek in North Carolina. And they say, hey, can you bring veterans in to come fish? And I was, absolutely, we would come to catch your beautiful trout and have a great weekend. So we're doing that in the coming up fall. So there's so many things that you can do. And we certainly would take the prayers, and we'll take all of it. But we are committed to what we do, and this has been, it's a life chore, and it's living a life of being selfless toward others, and we need your help in doing that.
These few who served as they did in that cool April morning in Lexington in 1775 to our more recent global war on terrorism. These imperfect souls, as we all are, who allow us to believe in perfect things: duty, honor, and service to others.
All right, folks, so today we talked to you about Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures, what we got going down here in Georgia with Frank Adkinson. Frank, thank you very much for inviting me down here, giving me the opportunity to spend some time with you and in your house. And every time I come down here and I get a chance to spend time with Frank, because I'm running my own veteran events up in New York, John's running his events in New Jersey, and you're down here in Georgia, it just brings it closer to home with what we're trying to do. Another thing we'd like to talk about is we'd like to go 50 states wide eventually. This is the tip of the spear. This is the beginning. We're trying to get our battle rhythm going. We're trying to get funding. We're trying to get our annual, semi-annual, quarterly, monthly, weekly battle rhythm going, and then from there we will build. We have started building a Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures Pro staff, where we're trying to find one veteran or civilian that really wants to support veterans that we can pull on the team from that state. And we actually have like a 34-person team on the Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventures side. Those people are forward in those states, just like Idaho. We can have Sean Kinniston in Idaho. I'm going to be going out there for an elk hunt, and this is a chance for Sean to pick me up at the airport, host me, and run an event. But if we were running, say, a veteran adventure out there, he could be linking up with the organization or the family or the grounds that wants to bring the veterans in, talk about what we're doing, and be that forward deployed element, that ADVON, what we'd call it in the military, that advanced party to link up with those people and make sure the ground's set before the veterans come in. We're, of course, going to show up. Every time we run a Wild Jaeger Veteran Adventure, one of our policies is to make sure that one of the board of director members is always there. So all these fishing events and everything we talked about in Georgia, Frank is at every one of those events. If it's happening in New York, Ricky Mills is there. And of course in New Jersey, John McCollum's running that down. Frank, thank you very much, brother.
Great
Some
seeing you,
good
brother.
stuff. I'm looking
Absolutely.
forward to some good chow tonight.
Yeah, we got steaks.
Eatonton, Georgia, folks. You got to get down here.
Thanks, guys.